So, hi, Shauna.
Hello.
Good morning to you. Actually, good afternoon. It's
Yes.
so good to see you today. I am so excited because I want everyone to meet my new friend, Shauna Zelker, right?
Yes. Yes.
Shauna
Yes.
Zelker.
Hi, everyone.
So, Shauna is on today because I would love to share with everybody the story of how Shauna and I met, which is really cool. So, and I have known each other for about what, 2 weeks, Shauna?
Yep.
It's only been about 2 weeks, but it's been awesome because
Mhm.
the way we met was just so cool and so great. So I'll start it out and I'll share with everybody kind of like what was going on in my life and
Mhm.
how the Lord just made a way for that to intersect with Shauna's life. So I have been, my husband and I were life group leaders at our church, and a lot of churches have life groups, which I understand
Mhm.
Shauna is part of one as well at her
Yeah.
church. And so um, our life group had not been able to get together much during the pandemic. And so I had not been able to hear much from them. So I texted them more so around the holidays just to remind them that, I'm thinking of them, love them, praying for them, and hoping that things are working out for them. And so I was thinking about in the new year whether or not I should text our group and just give them one last hurrah. I know oftentimes when we start to make changes in that arena and in our life group, what we'll do is change our list, and kind of those we haven't heard from in a while, we just kind of purge the list and keep going. So before I did it though, I was like, I'm going to send one last notice to everyone, let them know what's going on in my life, that God blessed me with a new job, and that I just wanted to encourage them to continue drawing close to God, and let them know that we were certainly still praying and wishing the best for them. So I sent this text to my group, and I got a response back from one of my members who asked me who I was. So at that point, that's where Shauna comes in. So Shauna, what happened when you get the text?
Yeah. So my previous phone number had the dreaded 666 in the phone number. And I was so sick of telling people my phone number. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to change it, get a new number. And so it listed like of six or so numbers that you could choose from. And you only saw like the first three. So I actually prayed on what phone number to take. And, it's the phone number I have now. So I would say about like a week or so into having the new phone number, I got that group text and I just assumed it was somebody like from my church because it was like all God related. And I was like, oh, I just must not have transferred their phone numbers over. And so I was like, hey, like, congrats on the new job, but who is this?
So
And
wait, before she says, yes, she says, who is this? I'm thinking again, it's my member who I haven't seen and talked to in a while. So I'm like,
yeah,
oh, honey, it's Takara. No worries. Hope all is well. So go
yeah.
ahead, Shauna.
And I'm like, nope, don't know Takara. And so I was like, well, this is interesting. I think you have the wrong number, but I love Jesus too. So it's really cool how just God works and connected us.
Absolutely. So that was so amazing. So when she says, I love Jesus too, and I don't know her, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Like it's another person who loves God. Now, I didn't know at that time if it was a male or female, but
Yeah.
I just instantly felt like this was an amazing opportunity. I just felt
Hmm.
like whoever this is in another opportunity to just share the love of God and share faith with. And it turned out that we ended up immediately saying, okay, let's meet,
Yeah.
let's meet and hang out, and which I was happy to do. But then I said, maybe I should meet her or meet the person on Zoom first. It sounded like a girl. So, my husband always encourages me to exercise, prudence. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, so I'll meet on Zoom. And of course, we met her. Steve and I met her on Zoom. And this lovely young lady you see before you told me a little bit about herself and her journey. So I just wanted you to share a little bit about your journey of faith at this point.
Yeah. So I grew up always believing in God, but I didn't really know the extent of what that meant. I would send up a prayer to him every night, and that was about it. After college, I was feeling super just lost in like the worldly things. I was like, surely this isn't it. Like partying isn't it. A career isn't it. I'm not finding any fulfillment in any of these things, like, and I knew that I just wanted to get back into church. So I'd always had a dream to move to Australia, so I was like, perfect, that'll be a fresh start. So I moved to Australia for a year, got plugged into a church, and everything happened really fast.
How
I
long has that been? Like since your Australia trip? What year was that?
So I've only been I would say following Jesus for a little over 2 years now. So, yep. I grew up in New York, moved to Australia for a year, back in New York now, and got right plugged into a church that I actually went to preschool in, but hadn't been there since. And yeah, it's been amazing, but I truly just have learned how to trust God and let Him lead the way rather than doing things my own way.
Well, I think that that is for sure the truth because I know when I started to create a network of women from the contacts and friends that I have,
Hmm.
one of my prayers was that God would always lead me to women that I can encourage and talk
Hmm.
to and just grab onto to help build their faith. And many people who know me know that I have friends and connections and people from all walks of life that I tremendously value. As a result of a lot of the things that happened last year, I thought it was very important to affirm that that God can connect us to people irrespective of their backgrounds, any age,
Hmm.
race, anything. There should be no barriers in us forming relationships and letting the love of God just pour forth from our lives. And
Hmm.
so I am always open to meeting any woman who needs or may be benefited by a connection with other women. So
Yeah,
I told
me too.
Shauna, yes,
Yeah.
and it is, that's why it's amazing that God brought us together. So I told Shauna about my Saturday Circle project and
Hmm.
the women's gatherings and things, and she's looking forward to joining us. And I'm looking forward to doing even a more in-depth interview with Shauna, as I have already done with a couple others that I will load as the time comes, to share it.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited because I'm going to share this. I thought it was a super cool story that we have, and I just look forward to what God's going to do in our dynamic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Shauna, for checking in with me and sharing that. And I'll be checking in with you again soon.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.